can't find it here.
But never mind, that's okay. I think I can record the audio probably.
Yeah, please record the audio.
Yes.
Yes. Should be possible. I just
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay. That's great.
Sorry for the interruption, Dmitry. You can continue.
You carry on. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Just let's do formal introduction. My name is Dmitry. I'm from New Zealand, originally from Russia, studying collective intelligence. There is some understanding how it will be applied. A prototype of a collective memory is developed on PWorks wiki platform, and so the prototype's name is LikeinMind. Yes, over.
Okay, should I continue next?
Yes, Michel.
Okay, so Michel comes from Switzerland, and I've been working most of my career in the semiconductor industry. I mean, doing consumer electronics. And I've done lots of different things. I mean, video, projectors, displays, networks, processors, and communication, all those together, and this drive. So anyway, but since about 3 years ago, I moved more into, I would say the software, but more or less the blockchain ledger technology for all different applications, but mainly for helping humanity and have the, like we call it, the consciousness evolution of
All right.
of mankind. And so in that area, I do have developed a special architecture for blockchains that are eco-friendly and that has, I mean, nice property for supporting all our projects and the collective memory, the collective intelligence, and so on. There you go.
Good.
Okay, so
thank you.
Michel, so what in terms of collective memory, are you talking about sort of cryptographic based or ledger based database or a whole application, or what's the scope?
Yes, a blockchain or ledger, all those ledger technology for me is a distributed database. So what we have what we call it the Michel-Helium blockchains that are permission blockchain. So that means every data.
So you got the Ethereum based.
No, it's not Ethereum based. It's totally ad hoc. Because the problem with the classical blockchains is that the Ethereum has a problem of centralization of control. I mean, the proof of stake do tend to centralize or polarize at least the blockchain. And Bitcoin type of blockchains are totally energivore, and it's totally no sense for the environment.
Hello?
Yes, so it's more like a holochain type of architecture. So it's a directly acyclic graph based on IPFS actually. I use IPFS and IPLD as a backbone.
Oh, all right.
Did we lose you, Gyuri?
Oh.
So sorry, I got the flaky internet, so I lost it
okay.
for 20 seconds or so.
So I don't know if you read it all, but what I was saying is that I have totally different architecture. It's more like a directly graph, and I use IPFS, IPLD as a backbone.
Okay, so you are in the IPFS space. So am I. Yes. So do you have any demo or any GitHub repo or any art posts or anything done?
I do have a GitHub where I do deploy some experimental tools. I have nothing that is really demo friendly yet, but I'm working on it, and that's why we tried to onboard Dmitry yesterday with my tools, but it needs more fine tuning. But yes, I will keep you informed of every demo and then.
Yeah, okay. I mean, have you come across with Orbit DB?
Which DB? What did you say?
Orbit DB.
Oh yes, I've seen.
That's an IPFS-based
Yeah.
database. Yeah.
I've seen it, but I just use it as a content addressable store. The thing is, I want to be as possible as blockchain or implementation agnostic, because the principle of collective memory or any type of collective intelligence tools is to be able to have bridges between all those platforms. So I consider IPFS just as a store.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And have you come across with World Brain Mamax?
MyMax? No.
World Brain Mamax, because they actually built something called Storex, which is basically doing this exactly. Their idea is to have sort of personal autonomous store, and they basically developed an extra layer of abstraction, which means that underneath you can have any kind of database, but it sort of abstracts it out so to guarantee interoperability.
Very nice. So I'm not aware of everything. I mean, there is so many.
I think you really need to check it out, because because from what you said, it is an adjacent thing, and it's well worth. I just see if I can give you a link. Well, anyhow, if you search for Storex on GitHub, I'll give you the link.
I will look for it. So Storex, like store plus the letter X?
Yes, but I got the link. I just put it in the chat.
In the chat. Okay, thank you.
Because it's important that the people who work in this space are aware of what's going on.
Yes, of course.
And are you aware of Scuttlebutt?
Oh yes, I like it even.
Because as far I mean, Scuttlebutt I really like it very much.
I like it so much too.
Okay, so I was just so what from what you said, it sounded like that whatever you're looking for is in somewhere in the intersection of these three things.
Yes.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean that's very much aligned with the way I see things. Yes.
That's good.
So what's it? You obviously, if you got the store sorted, what's your next sort of vision, or where you want to take it?
So what we want to do is we want to do simplify the user experience with all those tools, and just provide simple ways of sharing our knowledge. So Dmitry already have a platform that is called LikeinMind. I don't know yours well, but I mean you can talk a little bit more later. And so what we want is being able to give tools and interface to people so that we start collaborate. And so initially we had an idea of having like a federated / fractal wiki that is on those type of ledger blockchain technology, so that it will be peer-to-peer, a peer-to-peer federated fractal wiki.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I get it. Yes.
On the model of TiddlyWiki, if you know what TiddlyWiki.
Yeah, I very much like TiddlyWiki. I think my understanding was that from Dmitry, correct me if I'm wrong, that you're interested in turning LikeinMind into TiddlyWiki based system.
Yes.
And I think
Yes. Well, ideally, we need to think how to realize P2P client for collective intelligence. And so then probably build different interfaces with PWorks, TiddlyWiki, maybe some other networks which are already online, And Gyuri, please correct me if I'm pronouncing your name
Gyuri
wrongly.
is fine. Like it's really the Yuri in Russian, so it's Gyuri.
All right, so that's what I thought. But yeah, all right, thanks.
It's like you got this sound. It's like Javochka. You know.
Oh, I see. All right.
So it's the first is like J. I was fluent in Russian when I was 14, and since that it's an exponential decay. But I'm still surprising myself for knowing words like clever, or I actually know quite a few words. I still remember some.
That's nice. Yeah, Yuri is one of my favorite names. All right, so back to the topic. So we need to find a way of creating a common memory for a collective subject. It means that probably we should focus on those people who are already building this kind of structures online or for themselves, and make interface between those spaces. So what comes to my mind is also the other platforms like NuMap and ThoughtSpace, and there are a few more, and like The Brain, Gyuri, I forgot his surname. Yeah, you may know him as well.
Yeah, I mean I've been following Gyuri, and actually I built a peer-to-peer equivalent of The Brain. So I'm trying to contact Gyuri because I joined Digital Life Collective, where Gyuri is there. So I'm hoping to talk to him at some point and basically say, well, actually I can turn his centralized or server-based brain into add peer-to-peer conversations to that. So yeah.
Yes. So I can share a bit of my experience that different teams and people have different approaches and also different problems. For example, I still did not find a collective subject or a team, another way, if we call it, who are using their long-term memory collectively. If they are using, then the memory is very focused on their goals and purposes, and they are not maybe holistic is the best way to explain it. It means that so when you are too focused on something, it means that you are missing some links with relevant fields.
Hello.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, it's a flaky connection. I could switch to mobile internet at some point.
All right.
If it cuts out again, but
yes. Yeah. So the other problem is people using graphic-intensive platforms like ThoughtSpace and NuMap, and it takes ages to load them. So because they are trying to load almost all nodes of the networks. But the platform itself should work smoothly and quickly. So this is one of the requirements to my understanding. So this is a problem I'm facing right now. So it would be nice to create a team who will be able to build this peer-to-peer collective intelligence or / long-term organizational memory platform, and being used for the team itself, and maybe to help communities, other teams. Like, for example, we have some connection with Michel, who is working in the peer-to-peer field. And also, I think Gyuri knows, of course, he is a part of the other community, which is related to Doug Engelbart work. So if we start building this kind of holistic ontology, at some stage we will see that different people, but like-minded people, they will start finding each other at the unified conceptual space, or in this big global memory platform.
Yeah.
So this is my current understanding and motivation.
Yeah, I mean, can I introduce myself very briefly?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I've been in this on the Engelbartian quest of augmenting the individual human intelligence kind of quest, even before I learned about his work. But where it took me over 10 years or more is really, I think I sent it to you, and I can send it to Michel. I really been building IPFS and OrbitDB based kernel for the web, so for knowledge work. So basically all these issues that you talked about, basically storage and interoperability, I basically built an interoperability kernel. And the lucky thing is that I did run out of money, but I actually secured one more month funding, and which really should enable me to bring it into shape where you could actually use it. So what I think that really is a hub. The whole point is that I'm addressing the interoperability thing. It's very much like the Solid project. Are you aware of that? Any of you aware of the Solid project?
Yes, yes. Just a bit. I tried to look at it, and I have a bit of criticism for it. We can talk about this later.
But the important thing is, which is clearly from Michel, what you just said, that your interest is exactly in that you really, if you decouple the way your information, the information that you generate as a person, if you decouple the storage of that from the way apps or services make use of that's the idea of Solid. Then of course every app which respects which is a kind of technology we can trust, will be ipso facto interoperable, as long as in the case of Solid, you work with RDF as the universal data model. I developed an alternative which is fully mappable to RDF. I call it MindGraph. And in fact, I'm working with Marc-Antoine and Jack Park on knowledge federation and a protocol for sharing these kind of graph-like data, because quite clearly, whatever you do, graph. Oh, have I lost there's no connection?
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. I can hear you.
Yeah, we're okay. We hear you well.
Gyuri, it's all good. Can you hear us?
Or maybe he cannot hear us, that's why.
Yes, I will type him a message. Just a second.
Where are you located, Gyuri?
Sorry, I'm switching to mobile internet because this is ridiculous.
Where are you located? Oh, he's switching.
He's switching mobile, I think, or whatever. He is in Hungary.
Hungary, okay.
Not far away from you.
Yeah, closer.
Compared to me. So what I would like is probably talk. We already talk about common interests, and maybe we talk further what can be done together.
Well, there is at least an overlap in all our skills, so which is good. So I mean, the knowledge federation part, I mean, is also,
Hello.
yes.
Yes.
The knowledge federation.
Sorry, hopefully won't get disconnected again.
Go ahead.
That's all right. Sorry, Michel.
Okay, should I continue? Yeah, I think there is an overlap between our skill sets, which is good. So meaning that you're working, like I understood, on MindGraph, and then which is a way of generating graph for knowledge federation, which linked to Dmitry's work on my LikeinMind. And the graph aspect, I mean, is totally also good for mapping on a ledger in the IPFS style base for the storage part. So I'm doing the storage part. You're doing the graph, Gyuri, and Dmitry, you're doing all the semantic.
No. Sorry. Probably I don't know. I don't know what was the last time you did. I did manage to
Okay.
to tell, but
so tell me.
So basically, what I was saying is that I actually got a prototype for this for a kernel for this kind of knowledge work. So it's really end to end in the sense that it even covers a better way of doing web UI than it's all basically web based or progressive web apps. So it's a complete technology stack from how you build progressive web apps, which uses MindGraph as its universal data model and uses peer-to-peer and also at the same time peer-to-peer or centralized. It doesn't matter which one it is,
Yeah.
because they are all interoperable. So I'm basically built an interoperable kernel for knowledge work, and I just managed to find a 1 month funding, which really should enable me to actually ship this. Okay. This entire stack, and I'm really looking for people, DigiLife and everybody. The vision is that as long as you know, to write an adapter for LikeinMind is probably would be a week or 2 weeks work in the worst case. Okay.
Okay.
And then the idea is that if you can interoperate with this kernel, then ipso facto you are interoperable with anybody else who is connected through this kernel. And it doesn't mean connecting to a central thing. You just agree. It's like solid, you know, just agreeing to. It's like basically loading a single JavaScript widget, if you like, which facilitates the interoperation. And what I'm after now, and I don't know, I think I put it into the chat. I just discovered Digital Life Collective since we last spoken, and it basically means, and I encourage you to join them, because this is where all the people interested in well, they really I'll give you the link. Their slogan is I mean, Digital Life is the tech we trust for a world we want. Okay. And they basically they're interested in and they are not alone. It turns out, I didn't know that these things existed. There's a whole movement. Are you there? Still there? Yes.
Yes.
Can you hear?
Yes.
That they really interested in this decentralized autonomous organization.
Yeah.
So the Digital Life Collective and many others, Cotech and many other people, there are literally hundreds of them, initiatives, which basically trying to use open source tools to provide everything you need.
Yes.
Yes, I should step in here and connect our talk with knowledge management and also value flows. What happens that I am a co-administrator of a systems thinking forum on Facebook, and also just participating in very different discussions. And what result of this my work is that people inclined to talk a lot about these matters, but there is very little chances of practical applications.
Why?
This is a good point. Well, I mean, you know, I think that well, in the real world, people living their lives, and they already part of their own collective subjects. And they go out and talk to other people for various reasons, but mostly not to create another collective subject, and then create new value for other people and teams or for communities, you know, to present results of their work on exchange of some other values. So it's too simplistic, but we are talking about services and products which are appreciated by our societies and communities. Yeah. So and then we're talking again roughly and simplistic about remuneration or payment for our work. If we do not receive this backflow of values from society, it can be a sign that the work of what we're doing is not appreciated for various reasons.
Sorry, just stop for a second. I mean, this is something I didn't mention, that the whole idea of this kernel is really to guarantee that the creator of the content has full ownership and control over the content.
Yes.
So they can actually charge for providing access themselves.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
But here is not.
So this is where digital life comes in, because they are in this. I didn't finish the thing.
Okay.
They're building the infrastructure to support decentralized autonomous organization, and they are really focusing on building just the kind of decentralized payment thing for these kind of value flows. And I'm hoping to combine their solution to actually the value flow with the peer-to-peer sovereignly controlled knowledge flow.
But what Dmitry is mentioning, I think, is that if the value is the value perceived by the community, and if it follows the market law, so if there is no value that is perceived that is returning back to the owner, then that means there is no interest for such a project, and so that.
No, I disagree.
Thank you, Michel.
It's really, think about this. If you do nothing else with the Trailhead kernel, this is just the minimal viable thing.
Yes.
That if you have, which is something I'm building right now, and it should be done this week. Think about a peer-to-peer medium clone.
Yes.
Where you post, and anybody who follows you actually get access to it. You grant the access, and if you want to charge, you can charge. Think about that.
Yeah, but we are in a different model here. If you charge, yes, then you get revenue. However, in Dmitry's what Dmitry explained is more in an open gift type of economy, where you put your work for the community, and
yes, but that's the easier part, because that's okay. This is what I want to do exactly. I would like to be able to contribute to LikeinMind,
yeah.
but reversing the flow. Instead of me going there and learning about how to edit it or anything, I want to be able to share some of the stuff I created automatically with LikeinMind.
Yes.
Without you know, I obviously want to share my stuff. Okay, some of the stuff I want to publish, if you like it, make it open accessible, and even collaborate with within within LikeinMind model, but basically always being able to map whatever is the model there into my shared core model and make this interoperation possible. And that's what that's the whole point of hyper knowledge, is to be able to allow not just peer-to-peer, but basically community event-based exchange of flow of information or flow
Yeah,
of
but this flow of information goes freely. So you have to have the similar flow of value so that it's sustainable from the provider or the authors or the creator point of view. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
just let me tell something. Our work as developers, ideally, is to lower barriers and simplify those processes which are already happening in society. In that case, we can expect that the products or services will be accepted and basically bought in. And so this is a problem because currently people they are not working in this with this kind of memories. For huge majority of companies and teams, they have no idea about long-term organizational memory. It's just not in culture. There is no demand on it.
I see. Yeah, it's a
Yes, I understand, but what I'm trying, this is exactly, I get you. This is exactly why I've been focusing on personal knowledge management first, because if you provide support for that, at, at some point, obviously people want to form communities, and then build this kind of collective intelligence from the bottom up. Because the whole point, this is a sure way, because at the moment you can have there are lots of platforms, Web2 platforms, lots of places where you can share, like Wikipedia is the beautiful example, where you can create collective knowledge resources, but you have to go there yourself. It's not integrated with your own personal knowledge work. On the other hand, if you find a way of doing your personal knowledge work in an intro way, which enables you to share it in any compliant or any platform that opens a channel like that, then I believe this sort of collective intelligence could emerge. And I'm actually asking you, I mean, Dmitry, you who do have a, a very systematic and very organized, sort of high quality, sort of single version of truth model of this domain. Okay,
Thank you.
if you're interested, would you be interested in opening it up to personal contributions through this interoperability hub? That's a simple question.
Yes. And initially it was thought as the open platform where people come and collaborate. But I'm sharing your experience that in this form on web as a wiki platform, it is not, well, just people not going there to publish their thoughts.
Yes, but think about it. If it grows, it's like Memex people and everybody. If you get a peer-to-peer community, a gossip network being built, possibly starting at places like Big Digital Life Collective and other places, or just because we start to collaborate together and share our knowledge through our personal knowledge and share it, and then say, okay, let's put some of that content or some of that work with LikeinMind automatically.
Yes. Just the picture is much more complicated, and maybe I'm expressing myself not very clearly. The similar work already happening, for example, on the TiddlyWiki community, for example.
Yeah.
But what we see is the lack of a systematic approach. Yeah. So there is still no such understanding of a unified conceptual space for collective subjects, for teams, that everything which is developed in this collective subject should be organized within a single memory.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I get it. That's the whole point. I mean, this is why I was very interested in what
yes.
saying.
And again, the story is actually quite long, because also what happened that if we're shifting slightly from maybe IT and knowledge management community into even such a well-developed communities like system thinkers, those people already are not capable of understanding these ideas. That if they want to build a systematic picture of the world, it should be done on the same
Yes.
conceptual space.
Yeah, yes, but this is the point, that if you let people to do their own personal knowledge work and convert it, and that could be in any application. And if you give them the tools and technology which enables them to express it in a form that a universal graph model, which they can be confident that other systems are able to. It's a kind of protocol that other people can process, and can start building these endpoints. Then they can, if they want, they can contribute their idiosyncratic version of things, and people either automatism or people like you with the understanding can actually work at the higher level and try to merge these.
That's the goal of. Oops. Sorry about the interruption.
Hello, sorry, I been kicked out. I don't know what happened.
I do know is the Zoom didn't detect it that I was logged in, so that's why. So probably now I can record probably now. Yes, I can.
Oh, good.
Perfect. So Dmitry, you can continue, but you are on mute. Oh, so I don't know if you.
Oh,
yeah, here you go.
Sorry. Just I started and went away. Can I continue? Just from knowledge management perspective, it's not tools which are restricting us. Yes, to an extent, yes, tools are important, but it's mostly people.
Yes.
But it's mostly people who are not prepared to use these tools.
I agree.
There is an example which is not related to IT at all and knowledge management. There are lots of people in Africa who has no shoes, so bare feet. What will be a good idea to build a factory to manufacture the boots for them and shoes? Surprise is that those boots and shoes are not bought. because people do not need them.
Yeah.
So, so this is a story. We can, for example, they say, yeah, take horse to water or to the river, but we are not able to force it drink.
No. I disagree. I think
I-
today, let me finish.
Yes.
Today, the point is that everybody knows that we got this sort of information overload. And if you give people the tools, I'll give you a good example. There are so many good things, but all of them are not interoperable. So for example, in Google, you can have Google Keep, which is great for keeping track of the flow of websites you see, but it is actually now interoperable with Google Docs, but you cannot share it outside, or it's very inconvenient. The point is that if I can give, which I built, a tool which all it does works like Google Keep, but it actually integrates with your own personal knowledge management, and also can potentially integrate with any other like-minded applications. It's already integrating with Memex and hypothesis annotations, and actually turns the conversations, gives a platform for turning conversations around annotations. Now, I think that is something that people would want to use.
Yes,
And
I
the
think.
point is that yeah.
Yeah, I think it's what's also Dmitry was saying is that we need to come up with a unified way of structuring our knowledge to be able to enable that interoperability. And that
Exactly.
if you look at what social media is doing, is what TikTok is doing. They're able to share with every other platform versus the other ones are proprietary and then doesn't share. And I explain the success of it. So, but that's required that we agree on a common way of sharing our knowledge. I mean, choosing the language, the structure, the type of data, how we model it, that type of thing. And that's the hard part, is having a consensus on that, which is the hard part. And it's cultural, meaning in some areas they are used to do one way, some others used to do another way, and globally it's hard to find a way that is everybody agree upon.
Can I just again switch to my point that tools and protocols are great. I have no doubts that we can do them. Everything, almost everything that we can imagine. But the problem is, it's from my experience. Being an administrator of this forum, my work of curating information and knowledge was appreciated. The things I've been doing on LikeinMind. The community is appreciating the work, but out of 6 to 7, maybe 1,000 people, no one really joined me in my role of a memory agent, as I call it, as a knowledge curator. So just imagine, so 7,000, it's already quite a number.
But no. The point is that's exactly why I'm saying that if you build a way of exchanging the knowledge that I and TrailMarks users can curate for themselves, and if you make the process of actually contributing contributing or just accessing the knowledge, then you will get people who will create. I mean, it's like, I'll give you a good example. I'm integrating deeply with Wikidata. That means anytime I write something, the system automatically shows if that is known in Wikidata, and I can link to it, and I can integrate it, and I can actually get the established, notable, defined ontology, and I use that. Now I could do the same thing with LikeinMind, and I want to do it. And in fact, in Wikidata, I'm already doing this curation myself. I'm proposing new link types. I'm contributing new nodes, and I would like to be able to do that with LikeinMind. And the point is that if we solve the interoperability problem, then people will come. You know, then people will
Yes.
be interested in that.
Yeah, that's
Because
building bridge, I guess. Is that
Sorry?
right? It's building bridge between the system.
Yes, it's really just an easy way. That's a very good way of putting it. It's all about this is what TrailHub is essentially, is give you an easy way of bridging knowledge silos.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Two personal knowledge silos.
There is
Yes,
a
yes.
story about a hospital in the US. They try to standardize the hospital and then have their sharing their database, and it was very cost ineffective, and then because there was so much legacy system and so on. And they have a different approach in China. Is that they say, oh, we keep the system how it is, heterogeneous, whatever, people still use their same old software, but we bring point-to-point bridges. And they have been able.
Yeah, that's exactly what TrailHub gives you the framework for.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That you don't need. I mean, this is really even in the peer-to-peer world. That's a really important thing. That if I write about something and somebody through the annotations or other ways discover that we have a shared interest, actually the automatic discoverability is built into the data model. Okay, so if you write something, if you write about collective intelligence, if so, you can find out everybody in the ecosystem who writes about that topic. So what I'm saying, that once you discover other people and they use terminology, because that's the whole point of personal knowledge management, start with that. This is why consolidated knowledge management to begin with never works, because even in Wikidata, just to make one claim, it takes you so much work of finding out how it is done there. If you reverse the project the other way around and let people speak their own language, and then as a separate curation process, discover how it is called in LikeinMind, or what the predicate used in, or what the ontology in Wikidata, and just provide the mapping.
Yes, that's what
clear.
That's what Dmitry was saying, is that the curation of knowledge needs to be done, and if this is a human being that has to do that, then it's a problem. But if we have an AI or an automatic way of doing this,
no. I think this is what I find in practice, and it may be that I'm just too exceptional.
Okay.
But I think people will very soon discover the sheer value of linking their way of articulating to a common or alternative ways, because then suddenly everything they have in that context become accessible from another
context. That means there
context.
is an automatic curation behind the scene.
No, there is no need for automation. This is with the Wikidata. I just say my term. I use the term diary, and they talk about it as journal. I just say same as. Wikidata is open. That's the beauty of Wikidata. That it doesn't force you to use common terminology, except it gives you a way of mapping your idiosyncratic ontology into the common one.
But that means it's because there is a Wikidata engine behind that do the indexing, right?
No, it's not an engine. It's just a form, just the it provides you the editing capabilities to do this.
Okay.
I mean the idea clearly in the long term, yes. I mean Jetpack doing work like that. So just the same way you can get the algorithm which do automatic entity recognition. So it can actually do some work with automatic mapping of links. But that also requires some human approval, really.
Let me say, still the picture in my mind is too complicated to express well.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's fine. Just I'm not express myself fully. Just what happens.
Yes.
Yeah, just I do not say that there are no people who do not who need this tool. I'm not saying it. What I want to tell that the percentage of these people is too low. It's a very thin.
I agree with. I do agree with that. Yes.
Yes. Some few percent of people recognize the importance of this work. And again, it's not tens of percent, it's a few percent of people of population. They see the advantage of curated knowledge, but they are not able to do it themselves. So they need an agent. In the case of humans as agents, it's a laborious work. It takes so much of time and effort to build the memories for organizations. So organizations looking on these efforts, they just say, no, we are not doing it. So I'm in this conversation for at least 10 years with business owners. They are not doing it. Yeah,
Yes, but
with
if you
just
go
people.
to sorry, but if you go to your business owners and say, well, actually, we have here a community where everybody is articulating their own way of thinking about or knowledge in a way which is at least compatible with a pooled way, then suddenly they may say, well, actually, uh, if we can actually and if the only task is to bring in these disparate knowledge sources or plug into them and curate the existing knowledge which is already created, that may react differently to your proposal.
Yes, but still, I did not see first thing that I did not see yet unified conceptual space and holistic ontology where people
Well,
working on.
you don't need a unified. This is my point, which I may be wrong. Is that
Gyuri, sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Yes, sorry, Gyuri. Just if we're talking about a collective subject, it means that his consciousness can be just one entity. It means that his conceptual space is only one. So if there is a team, it can be only one conceptual space.
Yes, but it could emerge from created alternatives as a result of an agreement process.
Yes, and again, there are teams who are creating their memories. Yes, the process is there, but their memories, because of this barrier, it's a too laborious process. Their memories are not systematic.
Yeah.
They are not really expressing the intents and plans and everything what's happening in the teams. So this is my experience. Yeah, the platforms that they are working with, for example, are too heavy to run on computers. And so it's just quite a lot of problems. And look, on this very thin layer of professionals, even in this field, how many of them are making viable teams and actually produce services and products to communities and societies? Well, honestly, it's maybe just one, two. I cannot really name them. You see, this is a problem. Yes, we can build tools. Yes, our ideas, technical ideas are perfect. But the challenge is to make these ideas working for society. Only in this case, we can achieve the backflow of value from society and
I agree.
support our work. That's the only thing I'm trying to express. I do not know good examples of, well, actually I know it's the examples are collected on LikeinMind, but they are just single good examples of knowledge management working for companies.
But is it because of the friction? I mean, if we just need tools to reduce the friction so that people find it easy to use?
I believe yes. When the work of agent is appreciated and well paid, then yes.
Okay.
And also the humans here should be probably removed from this process, or at least their work should be automated and barrier to participation should be lowered. In this case, we will do training for other people, showing them, look how easy it is to build memories where you can see everyone's thoughts and contributions on different topics. So this is my understanding.
No,
yes, with technical tools, yeah, we can lower barrier to participation.
I think that the more fundamental barrier, which is Ulrich Smith on ResearchGate is writing an awful lot about, is the idea is that I certainly think that your personal knowledge work, the one that you do internally, is private. And even if you give, as they did, look, they did this 20 years ago. Lotus Notes was a fantastic knowledge management system, but people just didn't write their thoughts into it because they're not prepared to give it to the company they work for.
Yes, that's another point. Yes,
Yeah.
That's
it's just
the
the picture is big for you.
the decentralized web gives us the opportunity which we didn't have up till now, which is to say, okay, you can do real knowledge creation privately and share it with any organizer, any team that belongs there. And yes.
Sorry, just I cannot agree because I studied this topic 25 years ago, and
Yes.
already at that time we could technically build these knowledge bases, the private knowledge bases.
Yes.
But already at that time there was no interest in this work at all. Just with all those primitive tools, I showed that there was actually potential if this knowledge sharing goes beyond a certain threshold of participants, it starts paying off. No interest.
Well, I think whatever you experienced 25 years ago is not valid because people like I didn't know that this is a problem that people have, except that 25 years ago, nobody knew that they had this problem. Today, it is everyday experience that we are flooding in this information flow. And unless we find a decent way of keeping track, we just lose our minds.
Theoretically, yes.
Not theoretically, practically, we do.
Gyuri, sorry, just for interrupting, but practically what happens when people think about learning a new technique or tool, or when they find someone's ideas on the same topic they do not really understand or share, they think, oh, it's easier to develop it from the scratch. Yeah, so that's how, and that's how the wheels starts reinventing. And there is another side of the same model, of the same medal, sorry, that reinventing wheels itself actually has the cultural value. That's how cultures are built and maintained. That's where people reinvent wheels and see the same situation from different sides.
Yeah, I agree. The problem of all tools adoption or all standard is that the adoption is very hard, and reinventing is always easier because it's the way you integrate with your own thought, with your own sphere, and that's the way you assimilate and learn. The reinventing is important, and that's why federated wiki is good because you fork the information from somewhere else in your own words locally.
Yes, yes. And if we lower barrier to finding this information kind of automatically, my vision is only when we have a cognitive assistant telling you, look, what you're working on is already here and give it to you. Or what you're working on, there is a team in the same field. Do you want to communicate with them? Maybe invite to solve your problem, something like this.
Yeah, I support that model. Yeah.
Yes, I mean, that really means three things has to happen. The first, personal creation, community or whatever level merging. But the most important thing, as you say, is discoverability. But I think it is now possible to build systems like that, which are decentralized at the same time, can be federated and be discoverable. It is now possible.
Still difficult. That's still difficult to have a true decentralized discovery system. I mean, today.
No, it's not. It's not. It is now perfectly possible.
Really? I want to learn about that.
It's look, we are kind of professionals in this field, and this seems not so difficult for us.
Okay.
But once I met a person from hold on, just I cannot tell. It's some subfield of artificial intelligence, and he said, "Why are you not using this tool? It's so easy. Look, how is that?" And he showed me work of some scripts. I told you, you think people will use it? Yeah, it's so easy. So what is so easy and trivial and obvious for us is actually a challenge for the big majority of people.
Yeah. Well, what I was saying about discovery too is that every way of the web is organized today with search engine, and a search is totally different than this discovery because it's centralized, and there is very few truly distributed search engine, and so
there is a search engine for the whole IPFS.
Yeah, I know that one. But
so as soon as you just make that switch and say, okay, I'm going to publish my work on IPFS, that is a search engine.
Yes, but we're already talking from the point of view of knowing about these tools.
Yes.
Imagine people who are in the middle of their problem. They think, how I'm going to solve this? And so then they basically select the method which is coming to their mind random. And if they have no idea about this kind of tools, they will never select this kind of methods.
No, but I think I see the solution to this, and
education.
There's a whole ecosystem of people like the Solid, the MemX, the Topic Quest, and Hyper Knowledge,
Yes.
and all these. There's a groundswell of
yes.
initiatives now, which, as long as they agree of whatever form of the core values being user autonomy, privacy, and interoperability. If you, not just me, you, Topic Quest, the MemX, and MemX is actually building this. MemX builds this universal storage model, which basically enables you to store and index anything you put into there. Okay, that's itself an open capability. Anybody can use it free. So as long as, for example, you integrate your work with the MemX, I integrate my work with the MemX, and also provide a way of each of us peer-to-peer exchanging data, then next time, any user in this network of interoperable things. So if MemX is now up to 10,000 users, and it's gone from 1,000 to 10,000 in less than 10 months. So, but Hypothesis got 5 million users. My trademark thing integrates with Hypothesis. It basically can pool the Hypothesis users into this shared interoperable world. So suddenly you will discover that this network of networks of interoperable to participants, we can do a sort of viral reach of people, because it's not just me. I'm doing some product and trying to market it or trying to get traction. But if I interoperate with 5 others, then my traction ability, we can actually multiply each other's visibility, and suddenly you will find people who already, even without knowing, are part of this decentralized, discoverable alternative world.
Yes, I agree. The possibilities are there. And so now it's a time for the case studies. We need to show how on this environment, in this multi-platform environment, we see tools forming, emerging teams.
Yes,
we need to show emergent teams, which are also viable.
Yes.
And also connected to the actual world.
Yes, and practical way when we're talking, I really wanted to ask you to say, would you be prepared to be part of this network?
Always, and I always invited everyone I talk to. So this is my the first question is to build a collective subject, towards and start working towards a global subject. And so you see,
but what I mean is, are you prepared to work on the interoperability layer or contribute or plug in?
yes, but to work on this, I need to see that the team is viable.
Yes.
Well, then then if you not, then it's a chicken and egg. We can become a viable team if we set our mind to it. If we wait for the team to prove itself to be viable, that team will never emerge.
Yes, so we are talking about the process of emergence, and yes, and the process of emergence is when, by a luck or any other principle, we have a combination of components which are sufficient for building the system. So we are talking from system thinking perspective,
yes,
right?
But I mean, I really invite you to go to check out Digital Life Collective, join it as an organization, and you will find hundreds of like-minded people who are already open towards collaboration.
Gyuri, unfortunately, I'm in this process for at least 10 years. We have a list of 100,000 projects working on global sustainability. And I believe we all know what is the current status of global sustainability now.
Yes.
And I know what is what are the mechanisms which are not allowing those projects to merge.
Okay,
I'm talking to Jack Park for, I don't know, 7 years. I lost count of years now, about merging our efforts. I spoke with Gyuri, he's the brain, the biggest model of a brain, say, with the same proposal. So everyone is putting himself in the center of his universe. And to make this kind of teams emerge, we need to shift from egocentric model and perception of our world to allocentric,
yes.
Which is...
that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm not saying join trail marks. I'm saying that let's build a common framework, which is shared.
Yes.
I'm not egocentric. That's it.
I'm not saying.
No, it's important that I'm offering an interoperability layer.
That's right. I'm not blaming anyone about current status. I'm just saying that my observations are such and such, and these observations are confirmed by this kind of model. I'm just talking to you as a scientist.
Well,
so we have a hypothesis which is saying that because of such and such features, we are not seeing these systems emerging.
But I disagree. There is hypothesis which is completely open and interoperable, born interoperable. They're not about capturing users. They basically do the things so that other people can actually interoperate. That is MemeX, which is built interoperable. Okay.
Sorry for interrupting. Just I'm ready to join MemeX right now if they support my work. If the value floor of MemeX is already in place, I need to see it. I need to see that this team has a common vision. They have an action plan. They have roles which are distributed, and so we have the value flow in place.
Well,
if they are not able to, sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
You're right. Is that to be able to see those emergence of the team, they needs to have the team needs to have an autonomy in terms of energy and effort and work that is putting it. And that's possible only if there is a common interest that is allocentric, like you said, and that people that are autonomous, meaning they can sustain the effort within the team for the duration of the project.
So I'm happy to give all my knowledge and experience and skills of philosophical understanding, prototyping of collective memories, and a few other things. Yeah, so I worked out through the years. Yes, I'm happy. So this is my role. I can work as a curator. Just my work needs to be appreciated. And my life basically needs to be supported by this project.
Yes.
If not, I will keep doing what I'm doing now, which is helping businesses to survive and develop. I will be happy to leave this my current activity any second of my time. I need to see the viable team and invitation. Not only invitation, I will ask them to be a part of those teams.
Yes,
This did not happen to the moment. It never happened to the moment. This is my experience.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the same mode, but that's we have to create that value flow. I think it's if we focus on creating that value flow, then people will jump in.
Absolutely. And then seeing our success, our good experience of using such and such tools on such and such principles, we will see emergence of many teams like this. We can tell, look, we have this person in this horrible, talking about myself, financial situation, yeah, with this set of knowledge. We have this person with this set of programming tools. We have the other people. And look, just when they came together, we see emergence of a new system. We see emergence of a team which is viable just from scratch. If we show this experience, we can expect many teams formed on these principles.
Yeah. So that means that we have to focus on creating the value from the start.
Value from the what?
From the start. So that it's basically the seed, the seed of any type of emerging project is that you need to have enough resources to nourish the team until it's sustainable.
Yes. It's a seeding. Yes, that's how Amber is calling it as well, I think. It's a seeding of teams.
Seeding of team, yes.
And
who calls it Amber, or what do you say?
Yeah, Amber is the manager of the project we are in with Michel, and she is working, to provide the background for inviting other people in team. So we are now in kind of a beginning of emergence of the team now. We are talking about peer-to-peer collective intelligence platform. We are working with Michel. And just we can hope that with certain periods of time, we are ready to invite other people on the board. But nevertheless, what Gyuri is talking about is extremely important. I'm looking forward of joining any team who working in this direction.
Yes.
First of all, because it will support my life. Sorry for being blunt, and also for because all this work is work towards peer-to-peer collective intelligence, and at the end of the day, it's a formation of a global subject, which will only when we coordinate our actions around a common idea, we will be able to solve global problems like what we're facing now with all this climate and other stuff. So this is my theoretical understanding, and I believe that the tools we are talking about will help a lot. The only problem is how to get us developers organized and to make ourselves viable.
Yes.
And to realize this all this big goal.
Yeah, I agree.
So this is roughly a part of my big picture in mind. I don't want to be very disappointing. Just this is my experience and understanding. Maybe we can talk about some good examples, and maybe we can talk about some, say, open business models which are applicable for this project developed further.
Okay, I got a practical suggestion or question.
Yes.
Do LikeinMind as it is? Does it have a? I'm sure it does, but can I use an API to run searches and basically surface in my work what if there is anything in there? Obviously, you have to be logged in or whatever. Is there any API that I could use I really would like to use LikeinMind along with the Wikidata. It's basically to discover identities, discover entities, discover conversations on a given topic that is adjacent to what I'm doing. So just the same way I would like, I want to be able to link to other people's work in some subject, personal work. I would like to link to your global subject treatment of it. Yes.
Yes. API is there. I can send you a link shortly.
Yes, please.
And moreover, it's last year it was a project run by students who succeeded in downloading pages from prototype, not LikeinMind, but from their prototype. So they can download pages from PWorks, modify it on their computers, and then upload back to the server.
Okay, so you have some library like that. I would like to be able to use
Yes. I can give you all the information I have, and the link to GitHub for this project.
That would be brilliant. That would be brilliant. Yes.
So in this way, for example, on these principles, we can already build a federated wiki on PWorks platform, where each of the participants have his own space on PWorks, but the mix of all the information is happening on their computers. So this is another kind of alternative to TiddlyWiki. So to me, this is not critical. Just for me, whatever is easiest and efficient is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just the main thing is to build a team which is viable and capable of realizing this product or project in as less time as possible, because time is ticking.
Just one message about time. We still have like a little bit more than 1 minute out of the 40 minutes, and we have to connect if we want to continue after. But we will keep start in 1 minute.
Yes, thanks.
No, it was very helpful. Thank you very much. I think I certainly would like to follow up on the API and hopefully get back in a couple of weeks' time, hopefully with a real demo, and see if that opens up any new avenues. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree that building bridge between our systems will help us to understand the capability of both systems, and then also collaborate for sure.
Yeah.
So if I understand, Michel will focus on TiddlyWiki, Gyuri on PWorks, and see what will happen.
Yes.
Yes, and Michel, I'm very much interested in the TiddlyWiki space. I do want to be a bridge to TiddlyWiki as such.
Okay.
Eventually, but so I'll probably come back to you on that one. Yeah.
I would like to know also, do you have an API on your system so that we can also have some way of discovering your database through and then merging with ours?
Well, yes, it will have one, but at the moment I believe in the pool model. But also, yes, it will have. You can have it.
Okay. Okay, sorry for the interruption. You're still on mute when you join, Dmitry.
Hi, Michel. Sorry, I was away.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes. So the recording did work for the previous session, so I'm continuing on this one.
All right. Okay, I will send invitation to
It's the same link, yeah.
Gyuri.
Yeah.
Hold on.
But we can just conclude now. I mean, we have
Yes.
good exchange. What is the name of Gyuri platforms again?
Just a second.
I forgot.
Just you know, my memory is no good. That's why I'm using LikeinMind.
Exactly.
Oh, what I'm doing now is opening his page, and his page should.
Yeah, sorry.
No, that's fine. So we just conclude, and I'm saying that I do not remember the name of the platforms. That's why I found Gyuri's page on LikeinMind, where I suppose the platforms are listed, the projects.
Yeah, what is the name of your platform, Gyuri? I forgot.
Well, he's got too many, but it's basically Trailmarks and TrailHub and Opidocs and MindDrive and MindGraph. So all this complex,
Yeah.
but the Trailmarks is the minimum viable tiny little thing.
All right. So to conclude, then I see that we have a lot of in common. I believe that we have a common vision as well. And at the moment, we can look in TiddlyWiki and PWworks as a potential interoperability platforms to get information from and to
exchange, yes, share,
for the exchange.
Yes.
And if that worked, and well, from my again perspective, the main challenge is not building protocols and tools, but emergence of teams on these tools and protocols. And if we see these teams emerged as a result of our activities, that will be for me, for myself, a big success, which can be presented anywhere in conferences and anywhere.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, Gyuri?
Yeah, but I mean, the crucial thing is, this is why interoperability is the key. The link systems, sorry. Yeah.
So are we planning to, I mean, do we schedule something?
Okay, right, okay, fine. Yeah, thank you.
It would be nice to have the clock ticking, and if we meet weekly, just to say hello,
okay,
it would be good. Thank you. Just Gyuri already turned off.
Okay, perfect.
I will send him a message. Thank you, Michel. Thank you for your support.
And I will share the audio.
Hello?
I will share the audio back once I package it.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Have a good day.
You too.